All the while, I knew this fatalist thinking was a cop-out, and I didn't like myself for it. I'd be reminded of the recent birth of my grandson and my two older grandkids and the many people out there fighting for a better planet. No, fatalism couldn't be for me. Yet I was compartmentalizing my grief rather than letting it into my heart. Catherine Keener reminded me recently how on the 5-hour drive to Big Sur, she would go on an hourly rant. Oh, what can I do? Tell me what to do. Where are the leaders? I need someone to tell me what to do. I felt impotent, angry with myself for my inability to give her the answer she needed because I felt the same way. What can I do? The very morning we left for Big Sur, I'd received an advance copy of Naomi Klein's new book, On Fire, The Burning Case for a Green New Deal. All my life, the exact book I needed, without even knowing it, had come to me at the perfect time and changed my trajectory. Here it was again. I began reading it the next day, and a quarter of a way through, I was shaking with intensity. Over time, I've asked myself what it was about Naomi's book that so affected me. One was the way she wrote about Greta Thunberg, the 16-year-old Swedish activist who, in 2018, started a movement called Fridays for Future that had inspired school strikes for climate action around the world, involving millions of students. I knew about Greta. A lot had been written about her, including that she was on the autism spectrum. But until Naomi, I hadn't understood what that had to do with the power of her connection to the climate crisis and the way she communicated about it. Naomi explained that unlike the rest of us, people with Asperger's don't look around and take cues about how to behave and feel from the people they see. They receive information pure and direct. If they study the science of climate change, as Greta, a self-described science nerd, did, they aren't able to read the stark facts, feel scared for a while, and then go about business as usual. When Greta, with her unfiltered focus, her inability to compartmentalize or cope with cognitive dissonance, read the science showing disaster was looming, she didn't believe it at first. That can't be true, because if it were, nobody would be speaking of anything else. All people would be doing is trying to figure out how to fix it. But when she realized the science was true, and nobody was behaving as they should in a crisis, she became traumatized. She stopped eating and speaking. Reading this was like a kick in my stomach. I knew that what Greta had seen was the truth. That, as she said, we should be behaving as if our house were on fire, as if we were in a crisis, because we are. The brave young student was exhorting us to get out of our comfort zone and do something. Learning this about Greta permitted me to take the science into my own body. This was the second thing in Naomi's book that changed me: the clarity with which she conveyed what the scientists were saying in the 2018 Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC. Virtually unanimously, the scientists make clear that given the worsening disasters we're already seeing and the additional warming that's already baked in because we didn't act 40 years ago, we don't stand a chance at changing course in time without profound systemic economic and social change. And they say, as of 2020, we have a brief 10 years before the tipping point is reached. 10 years to reduce fossil fuel emissions roughly in half, and then reduce to net zero by 2050 to avoid uncontrollable unraveling of the natural life support system. But the scientists also believe that we have the technology to make the transition in time to clean renewable energy, and that the most important factor in whether we can pull off what's needed will be collective actions taken